Angela Merkel is panicking right now. Make no mistake of that. Her handpicked successor has quit her leadership position, which is opening up the opportunity for Merkel's arch nemesis to gain control of her party. Gang, things have gotten so bad in Germany that we may indeed be seeing Merkel's days as Chancellor finally coming to an end. Stay tuned. Greetings, everyone. Dr. Steve here with you. Happy Thursday to all of you. If this is your first time with us, I post 2 videos a day analyzing current events in light of super awesome conservative trends so that you can live in the present in light of even better things to come. We help you think better so you can feel better, right? So make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button. And let's enjoy together the inevitable collapse of all things liberal and globalist and the unstoppable rise of a new conservative age. Also, if you're a regular viewer of this channel, we want to make this channel even better for you. So my team and I, we want to know how we can serve you better and help you in your journey as excited and optimistic conservatives. And we want to get your input. So if you click on the link below, you'll see a survey that just takes a couple of minutes to fill out. But that's going to be so invaluable to us in learning how we can better serve you and make this channel even better. And if you participate, we're hoping to send you a little gift your way as a token of our appreciation. Now, before we get into Merkel's latest nightmare, don't forget to get your very own Nationalist Populist book bundle with swag. We have a whole one-stop library of my best books on the rise of nationalist populism going on throughout the world that'll absolutely fire you up for 2020 and beyond. So we're including with our books our Turley Talks tumbler. You can drink your coffee in it, right? A Turley Talks executive journal to take your notes in. A Make America Great Again hat, together with 5 of my best books on the rise of nationalist populism, all at a 20% discount, gang. I mean, this is an awesome deal, but it is a limited time offer, so do not wait. Click on that link below, and let's make 2020 the most conservative year yet. All right, we've got some amazing developments from a story we brought to you just a few days back. If you remember, this story all surrounds the German state of Thuringia. Now, like we noted in our last video, which you can watch by clicking on the link above, I'll link it down below for you as well in the pinned comments section for your reference. The German state of Thuringia held their regional elections back in October of last year. And those elections were really nothing short of astonishing for the Nationalist Populist Party known as the Alternative for Deutschland, the AfD. So while the post-communist left-wing party known as the Left, Die Linke, while they placed first with 31% of the vote, they've ruled Thuringia forever, for some time now. So Die Linke's victory was no surprise. But what blew everyone away was the stunning surge in support for the nationalist right AfD, the Alternative for Germany. They came in second with 23.4% of the vote, doubling their national average and doubling the support they got in their last election, Thuringia, 5 years ago. And perhaps most importantly, beating Angela Merkel's party, the Christian Democratic Union, the CDU, who came in a humiliating third. All right, so after the election, no one won an outright majority. So the best they could do was form a minority government. And so after months of deliberations, they held their vote for who would be premier of Thuringia, their governor. Now, everyone expected Die Linke's leader, who'd already been serving as premier, he was an incumbent over the last several years. Everyone expected him to win. But to the shock of pundits around the world, and I mean that, we have Guy Verhofstadt of the European Union criticizing what happened, to the shock of globalists all over the world. When the votes for the premier were tallied up, the leader from the Die Linke party lost. He actually lost by 1 vote to a fellow from the Free Democrats party, a party that actually had just gotten a few percent of the vote. And this fellow from the Free Democrats party won because the CDU, Angela Merkel's party, the CDU teamed up with the nationalist right AfD to thwart the leftists from getting back into power. Now, here's the problem. Under Merkel's leadership, the CDU is basically banned from working with the AfD in any capacity because it's, the chief globalist of the world. Merkel's designated the AfD, be the new version of fascism and Nazism. And that's precisely what this nut in Brussels, this Guy Verhofstadt, did. That's this lunatic, He is the bully of Brussels. That's what he insinuated when he tweeted out a picture of the AfD leader in Thuringia right next to a picture of Adolf Hitler, and they're both in the same pose. They're shaking hands with leaders that gave them power. The Nazi Socialist Party first really took power in Thuringia, and so this obnoxious globalist, Guy Verhofstadt, basically called this AfD leader Hitler. Now, to be fair, and I mean really fair here, Merkel has had to impose a ban on working with the AfD in order to keep her coalition together in the Bundestag, in the German parliament. Remember, the CDU didn't get an outright majority in 2017, which was their last national election. So they had to team up with the leftist Social Democrats, who, by the way, have just been getting trounced in their regional elections ever since the national one. I mean, they're frankly on life support as a political party, but Merkel's CDU needs the Social Democrats, or Merkel loses their governing majority, and then they would have to have fresh elections. And the Social Democrats have already pledged that they would absolutely lead the coalition if any CDU member starts working with and votes with the AfD. And if Germany has to have fresh elections, then Angela Merkel is officially over. She's done. She's already said she's not running again. So her term would, in effect, be through. It'd be done. And Germans would be ending up voting for someone else. So, needless to say, Merkel is experiencing a living nightmare right now because you have all of these left-wing globalists in Germany and Europe. They're all freaking out over this, that the CDU would dare team up with the AfD in Thuringia. They all freak out. And that forced the fellow who won the vote, a fellow by the name of KINGMAKER, to immediately resign and renounce the AfD, right? He had to go through all that repentant nonsense. And so Merkel's demonstrated that she's arguing there has to be fresh elections in Thuringia, which, be careful what you ask for because the AfD can end up winning these elections, right? But here's where things take an even more amazing twist. So just a few days after KINGMAKER's resignation, the leader, the national leader of the CDU, who's handpicked by Merkel as her successor, a woman by the name of Annegret Kramp-Karrenbauer, okay? She's mercifully referred to as AKK, like AOC, right? Okay? AKK. She's a leader of the CDU who was handpicked by Merkel, and to everyone's shock, she just turned around and she resigned her post over this whole mess. AKK is no longer the leader of the CDU, which means that there's no longer a clear successor to Merkel that Merkel approved of. And that vacuum of leadership and succession has opened the door to Merkel's arch nemesis, a fellow by the name of Friedrich Merz. Now, if you want a nice summary of Friedrich Merz and what he represents for the German political and economic order, I could not recommend more for you the commentary from Brenton Wood's research, which I'll link down below for you. If you sign up for their email list, they give you these awesome weekly geopolitical updates that are just wonderful, okay? But the gist of Merz is that he would represent a significant turn to the right for the CDU. Not necessarily one that would openly embrace the AfD. As I understand it, Merz still tends towards the notion of being independent from the AfD. That's fine. But he's absolutely committed to trying to woo back the voters that the CDU lost to the AfD, which promises to make the CDU what we like to call a nationalist populist light party. So we have the nationalist populist right, and we have the nationalist populist light. And what the nationalist populist right parties like the AfD have already done throughout Europe is they've had the effect of shifting all parties, not just the center-right, all parties to the right in some degree in order to remain politically viable. Otherwise, the AfD siphons off their voters. So we saw this in Denmark, where even the Social Democrats have had to adopt very strict border enforcement and welfare chauvinism as part of their political platform. All parties have begun shifting to the right. And so now we're seeing the mainstream center-right parties turning more and more into what some are calling nationalist populist light parties. And the CDU looks like it's poised to do just that. Now, it gets even juicier, all right? You ready for this? You thought this was good enough? Not on this channel. We are your daily white pill of encouragement and optimism. We're just getting started. You ready? There is a very real possibility that the Social Democrats will break away from the CDU if Merz wins the leadership position. Merz is too far to the right for the Social Democrats, and they may bail out of the coalition altogether. And if that happens, my friends, there will have to be fresh elections. And if there are fresh elections, I can tell you already who will not be on the ballot, and that will be one Angela Merkel. Her tenure as German Chancellor will finally come to an end. And once the shackles of Merkel are off that party, I expect that we will begin to see the CDU work with the AfD and eventually form a center-right, nationalist right coalition. So it looks like we really are beginning to see things turn for the better in Germany. And if Germany leaves this globalist world order behind, if Germany really embraces a nationalist populist coalition, gang, the globalist world order is toast. It's gone. It's like Humpty Dumpty. It's fallen and shattered into pieces, and there's nothing anyone can do to put Humpty Dumpty back together again. So we'll most certainly be keeping our eyes on how things develop in Germany, but right now, let's just put it this way. Things could not be worse for the future of Angela Merkel. Now, before you go, you will definitely want to check out a video I just uploaded on the state of the American presidential election. We bid a fond farewell to Joe Biden's dead candidacy, as well as look at numbers that indicate a massive red wave for President Trump's 2020 re-election. I think you're going to absolutely love it. So make sure to click on the link, and I'll see you over there. God bless.